Welcome. This is our family. We want to make this video. We're a different type of family. We're polyamorous. If you don't know what that is, you'll learn here in a little bit. But we're polyamorous. This is Jessica. This is Tammy. I'm Greg. We also have our little newborn, little Ryan. We also have 5 other kids. We have 2 teenage boys, Nathaniel and Matthew. And then we have 3 little girls. We got a 7-year-old Cadence. We have Persephone, and we have Helena. You'll meet them later on in the video. We ask them questions as well.
So basically, we've wrote out some questions that we tend to get a lot of. We haven't included every question. In fact, there are a lot of questions that we get about our personal relationships that are a little bit more uncomfortable that we'll cover in other videos. About just the personal aspects of our relationship. But we're going to cover most of the family-related issues, and like Greg said, we're going to make sure that you guys get to hear from our teenage boys and kind of how it affected them, when our families blended and just the difference of the family relationship aspects. You'll also hear from the little girls, which will be a little different. It will be, it's hard to keep the attention of little kids like that, but we do ask them what they think of our family.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead, and if you just want to read the first question, well, I'll just kind of answer it.
So we're just going to go over some questions that we've been asked multiple times. And so we're just going to go over some basic questions and start from there. And one of the ones we get a lot of is, what made you become poly? What made you want to do it? And I guess I'll start. It was a long journey for us. We were married for a long time. We watched videos as far as movies and stuff like that. Big Love. Sister wives, but we didn't want the sister wife aspect. We didn't want it to be impersonal. We wanted one big family. Some people call it unicorn hunting or whatever, but we weren't making the person do anything. We weren't trying to make the person do anything. And we didn't want anybody to not be equal. Everybody's an equal person.
I'm not tied up, guys. I'm not forced to be here. I can come and go as I please. I'm very happy.
So that's where we sort of come from as far as we were married first. Is just got the ideas talking, and we talked about it a lot for years and years and years.
Yeah. It took a long time for us to make this family happen. It took a long time. Sorry, little one.
For me, it was a little bit different. I've never seen sister wives or any of that stuff before. I don't really watch cable, so when they were telling me when we met about this show, and I'm like, sister wives, I'm like, ew. I thought there would have been something, incestual going on there. But no, I guess it's just everybody's with just the guy. They're not really with each other, which that's not what they wanted. It certainly wasn't what I wanted. But I got interested, and I guess what appealed to me about the lifestyle, I saw a video on Facebook, on my Facebook actually, of a polyamorous family that did it very similar to how we do it. And I just remember seeing how happy everyone looked, and it was like, this is our girlfriend, and they all 3 loved each other. In fact, they had just gotten, the husband and wife had just gotten divorced so that the girlfriend could marry the husband, and that way, you know what I mean? So that they could feel a little bit more inclusive. I would never make you guys do that, but we're not sure how we're going to handle the marriage aspect, but it was just really cool. Like, I could see the love in all 3 of these people. And they talked about financial aspects, the ability to have 2 full income jobs and also have someone at home with the children was huge. It's like, it really splits up the burden. And I guess that's kind of what made me want to do this kind of thing. So I actually sought out this type of relationship. It's not like they happened to find me and convinced me into it. No. It was definitely both parties were looking for this.
Yes. That's another question, is like, how did we meet? Because that's a really good segue too. How did we meet? We honestly were looking for the same thing online, met through a website.
And we dated just like normally. We actually picked her up, brought her flowers, and took her on a real date. Maybe we'll save that for the first date for another video. It's got a lot to it. She thought I was mad at her and wanted to leave.
What we should do is we should recreate the first date for a video and go through it again, because it was so nice. It would just kind of go to the same places or something.
Yeah.
But that might be a fun video for later. But yeah, we met online, like they said. It was actually I had posted on this forum, looking for this type of relationship, and I think it was
Actually,
Greg.
nationally.
Yeah, it was a national. It wasn't just like we're located in Tennessee. It wasn't just like a Tennessee thing.
No.
It was like national, and I happened to make a post like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I want to have a loving relationship with a man and a woman. They could be married or otherwise, and just kind of go from there. I have children, this and that, and I think it was Greg that actually saw my post, happened to stumble upon it, and was like, hey, I'm gonna message her. And I guess
And then we went from there.
we went from there. We started like a group chat with all three of us, and we could get into the aspects of the dating life in a video. We could cover all of the specifics of dating in this type of relationship, where we'll go into more detail about some of the conversations and how that stuff went.
Yeah.
Another big question we get all the time is, what's the benefits of it? What do you find that is better than a monogamous relationship, and what do you find that is worse? What's the cons to it?
The pros is that you always have someone to talk to. You always have someone around to help you, whether you just need help doing the laundry or help going to the grocery store and picking everything up. Because we have a lot of groceries. Yep.
So for me, the biggest pro to a polyamorous relationship that you just don't get in a monogamous one is just like the pressure is kind of taken off of you to provide so much to this person. When you're in a monogamous relationship, it's like, you're my number one, you're my only one. You have to provide me with all of the emotional support that I need, all of my, sexual needs, all of my, financial needs. You have to be the only one who's gonna help me when I need help, and the only person to talk to about, my family and my relationship. Like, it's a lot to expect of one person. Which is okay if that's like the lifestyle that you have, and I found, there were a lot of things lacking in some of my monogamous relationships that I was in. So when you get to be in this type of relationship now, you don't have to put all that load on one person. You get different things from different people, There might have been a relationship in the past that you had where maybe the guy you were with was really hitting all those other marks. He was responsible financially, like takes care of you, handsome, maybe, the fun stuff was good, but maybe he just didn't make you laugh. Maybe he was just really like boring or something. And it's like, you don't have to worry about that, because it's like, maybe you find someone who hits all those marks but doesn't hit another one. You can hang out with and spend time with another person who makes you laugh, who kind of gets those other points that you're not getting. Yeah. That's for me is like the biggest strength.
Mine is, it's having somebody different to go to. And it can be from a different need, a different want, or, just an emotional thing. Take, for example, Jessica handles my problems differently than Tammy does. And just having a different perspective, it really helps. It's really helped me. It's helped me grow as a person.
It makes you grow as a person.
Oh, you have to.
Like, everyone has to, like, if there's a deficiency in yourself, it is brought to light.
Yeah, you don't have just one person pointing you out. You're lacking. You have two.
You have an outside perspective.
Right, and you really have to, and it makes you a better person. It makes you a better member of the family as well.
And that is true. I've had times where, me and Tammy might get into a little bit of a mishap here where it's like, she didn't do this, or, whatever, just stupid catty stuff. And I'll be like, upset and talk to Greg or something. And Greg might be like, it's really not that big of a deal though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get that outside perspective looking in instead of just talking to Tammy, because we could both be heated about it, like, oh, well, this was how I took it, and well, this is how I took it. It's like, okay, well, how is this really going on?
Misunderstanding.
Because it might be a misunderstanding. And there have definitely been times where I've told, like, Greg or something, like, don't say that to her. Like, that's my girl, you know, because that's my girlfriend. So I might be like, hey, like, I don't like that, you know, but I might say something like that to my girlfriend too. When you're in the moment, you don't know it, you know. But when you have someone outside looking in, it's like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. You know,
Okay.
you can kind of look back and listen to what the other person's saying a little bit.
What's the biggest con?
To me, it's everyday life. I mean, really, it really is. I miss just going out and not being judged at a dinner table or out in public, or if we're out dancing or whatever. If it's just us dating and our whole family. I mean, we even have mixed racial kids, and we get judged so much every day, and it's hard. It's tiring sometimes, but I guess that's kind of why we're making this video, is to sort of let people know that we are a normal, everyday family, except for we have another person.
Yeah, that's the thing. We just really want to raise awareness and help just kind of normalize this kind of relationship, because all love is love. You know, there's no such thing as like a bad love.
Yeah.
And, you know, they can definitely be toxic relationships, but ours is not toxic. It's very loving. And we just want to kind of show that from all aspects. So for a con, it's like, so for some of those strengths, there are also weaknesses. Like, so you're used to being able to go tell your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend anything. Like, that's your person that you go to. And it's like, you know, take Greg and Tammy, for example. They've been married for so long. 17 years now? No, 17? 18 from on the 20th of December, you guys. 18 years. And, like, that's a long time to be with just one person, you know? So, now you bring a new person in, and it's like, there's a little bit of a betrayal feeling sometimes. Like, oh, well, why would you go to this person to tell them this? Or, I told you that because I was upset. I didn't want you to do something about it. Or
We're a family of fixers. So,
yeah,
if you tell someone,
it can cause some drama
becomes-
sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've done it. I went to Jessica and she went to Tammy before. It's just
I remember one argument. I got so mad at you. I was like, "Why would you tell Tammy that I said that?" And he's like, "I thought that you wanted to fix this." And I was like, "I would have just gone to Tammy when I was ready to go to Tammy. I just needed you to hear me because I was venting." Like,
so now if she comes to me and she doesn't want me to tell Tammy she's just venting to me, she tells me I'm just venting.
Yeah.
So it's okay, we'll deal with this later.
Yeah.
because I know Tammy goes to him and he goes to me about Tammy, and Tammy, you know, we all talk about it with each other because we get that you get that extra, you know, perspective of an outside opinion, and that's helpful. You get that advice. You know, I go to Tammy all the time, like, hey, how do I approach Greg about this? Because I feel like, you know, last time I didn't go so well. Are there better ways to do this? Because she's known him so long. So we all kind of learn from the stuff.
On that note, me and Jessica were arguing one day. I went to Tammy, and Tammy's like, "Well, you're wrong."
Yeah.
And when you get that slap in the face that you're wrong from two people, you're like, well, I guess I got to man up.
Yeah, I guess I'm wrong. As you can see, Tammy doesn't talk as much as us, so
what's the
that's
con for you?
a difference.
Well, a con for me, I think we talked about this a while ago, but a con for me would probably be when we go out in public, people really think, like, they look at Greg and they're like, oh, he's so lucky. And then they look at me and they're like, yeah. And they're like, what's wrong with you? And then they look at her like,
Right, like I'm just slutty homewrecker over here.
We get, like, people put us into a category, and that's where we are. And it's kind of like, we're trying to show you that's not.
Yeah.
So this is kind of why the con is what's bringing us to making this video.
But it's like, even like, I think you're right. People are like, you know, almost like look at Tammy like, oh, are you like
am I dying?
Is he making you do this? Like,
Yeah.
Are you really okay?
Yeah.
Like,
we've
you're gonna
gotten that.
share your man? Like, it's like, I ain't sharing my man. Like, I'm doing her too. This is my girlfriend.
I got a girlfriend. I'm getting the best of both worlds.
People assume, like, you know, it's all about him. It's like, no, there's love on all sides. And So they're looking at her like, what? Like, why are you letting this happen?
And I've had
They
people
look-
ask me if I was dying.
Yeah.
I've had people ask, like, is there something just like am I not pleasing him? Am I not,
Yeah, is there
something
something
lacking
wrong?
in me? So I
Like,
get that.
blink twice if you need help, Tammy. Like, and they think I'm like, oh, like, so wait a minute. So, like, okay, I guess it can make sense for this couple to want to spice things up in their relationship, right? But it's like, then they look at me and they're like, so you just take anything, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
And they treat
that's-
you like you're single. And
Yeah, they treat me like I'm not fully part of the relationship. If we go somewhere, it's like, oh, so you guys that's your girlfriend. Okay. So then they're like, so I could talk to her then.
Yeah.
And they do. They'll message me. It's gross. It's like,
yeah.
I'm like part of this. This is closed off. We don't need any more. Like for us, there's other forms of polyamory, which we could talk about in another video. But for us, like, it's just the three of us and we're not really seeking anything outside of it.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we get. It's not just bedroom for us. I mean, we are a complete relationship, and with that comes mine and Tammy's relationship, mine and Jessica's relationship, their relationship, and then all three of us.
Yes.
And anybody that says it's easy is wrong. They haven't done it.
There are aspects that are easier, like taking care of a baby. Way easier with three people.
We're all getting sleep.
Yeah, people can take turns. Like it's a lot of support. But the relationship.
Because if you have one person, if you're mad at your girlfriend, well, it's okay. It's not that big a deal. You're mad at one person. But if I'm mad at my girlfriend, then Tammy feels the strain and she can start getting mad at one of us because we're not really talking to her.
It's awkward. It's so awkward because this person, they're your significant other. Like, when they're upset, when there's something going on, right? So it's like, how much of your relationship with this person is private between you two, and how much of it is like all three people being a part of? So if Greg and Tammy are having like an argument and I'm not a part of that, and then they come in the room and it's just like, okay, I know you're both pissed off. Is it at me? What did I do? Or, okay, so are you mad at me? And Greg will just kind of be like, no. And it's like, okay, but what are you mad at though? Like, so it's just the tension, and it's just like you're there, like you're suddenly a third wheel.
And you know that they're arguing.
And
And you're just like, okay. And you might know what they're arguing about just because, you're here.
Yeah.
So, but you just have to step back and be like, they both have a side. Yeah. They're both technically right. They're both technically wrong. So just step back. Let them handle it.
Sometimes we get involved a little. Like,
yeah.
If Tammy comes in, she's upset, I'll be like, are you okay? Like, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be like, wow, what a jerk. Whatever. Like, because, Tammy's my girlfriend and my best friend, and it's like, oh, wow. And then there's sometimes where it's like, Greg will be upset with Tammy about something, and he'll be like, venting to me about it, and I'll just kind of be like, yeah, it sucks. I wish you could do that too. Because sometimes it is like, we're all part of this family, so we all experience it, and it's like, oh yeah, that's so frustrating when she does that, huh? But then sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I'll go talk to Tammy. Maybe I'll go like, hey, like, I get it. Like, I see why he's upset. Do you see why he's upset?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. And we'll kind of formulate like a plan together to get over this. Like, okay, maybe Greg just needs this. Maybe we just try it this way. Or, we're just...
Yeah, we try new things all the time with everybody.
And communication is a great thing in this. You have to have amazing communication. And if you're not constantly working on it, it's not going to work.
If there's no communication, the relationship's dying at this point. It's like cookie cake. Like...
Yes.
Well, what's your biggest insecurity, Jessica?
My biggest insecurity?
And being in a poly relationship.
My biggest insecurity in being in this relationship is like my own self-esteem, like my own, am I enough? Am I in this kind of relationship? Because I don't think that I can, find one person that I'm enough for. Or, like you start to think like, do I just need to tag on to someone else's relationship? Or am I in this relationship the opposite way? Is it like maybe one person can't handle me and it takes two to handle me? I mean, there's so many different aspects of it, but yeah, sometimes you do kind of feel like, especially with my family, you know, I'm a very outgoing person. I'm always doing very out there things. Like, oh, now Jessica's having a baby. Oh, now Jessica's, you know, moving across the country. I've done that twice. You know, what is Jessica doing? Oh, this isn't gonna last, you know. And when I told my family about my relationship, it was very much like, oh, okay, you know, like, we'll see how that goes. You know, how long is that gonna last for? And honestly, I've been with Greg and Tammy now for almost 3 years, which is longer than any other relationship I've ever been in. So I must be doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest like insecurity kind of goes along the same thing. It's kind of like, am I not enough? But on the other side, we are like 3 pieces of a puzzle. Everyone in our family is a piece of a puzzle.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit more laid back. I can drop of a hat. I can go do whatever we need to get done. And we kind of all need that. Our personalities just blend so well. So my insecurity is like my personality. I have a hard time with communication. You'll see that these two will talk back and forth, and I'll just be sitting there like. But I do have a voice in the relationship.
We'll talk, like,
but that's my biggest insecurity.
Yeah, we'll talk sometimes, and like me, I could just talk like this, like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, what about this? And next thing you know, on another topic, and it's just like, whoa. And Tammy would just sit there and kind of be like, riding the wave, you know. But like, sometimes I like, you know, talk to Tammy, and Tammy has to think about everything she says a lot more.
Oh yeah,
it takes her a while to think about it. So, you know, I might be like, hey, what do you want for dinner tonight? And she won't blurt out like meatloaf. She'll be like, and in that quietness of her thinking, it's very easy to just start talking again. Like, well, what do you think of meatloaf? And then Tammy might be like, meatloaf sounds good. So sometimes I feel like our conversations can go like that a little bit. But like, I do, because I know now from talking to Tammy that she does take longer to think about it. That's something that I learned about her from talking to her. But if I didn't bother talking to her and communicating in that way, I would just assume that she just didn't have anything to say or something.
Yeah. No, like, I can...
Yeah.
We can have be talking or whatever, and then probably 2 or 3 hours later, all of a sudden I pick back up in that conversation because I've been thinking about it that whole time.
I had time to let it, to come to the conclusions.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we all communicate a little differently.
My biggest insecurity, I guess, is also a fear. I've always had a fear of losing my family. You know, I love waking up in the morning. I love having my kids here. And I love having both of them here every single morning. And to lose one of them would be my biggest insecurity. And it's hard to not, you know, it's easy. It's harder for 2 people to split up than if one of them decided to leave or me decided to leave or whatever for something. Because there's so much of a dynamic here. So we really have to every day work on communication and tell each other we love each other.
It's scary to think about one of us leaving because, ooh, you good?
Okay.
All right, everybody. Like, especially now we have the baby together. That wasn't even a thing for the first, 2 years of our relationship. Mm-hmm. So it was like before it was like, oof. Probably within our first year, it was like I could just up and take my girls and leave, Yeah. But now it's like they're sisters. They have brothers. Like, we're family now. Like, we're committed.
Back to mommy. Back to mommy.
They love each other. They're bonding together. Like, they love mommy. They love daddy. They love
Jamama.
Jamama is what my children call me, because it was like a cross between Mama, which is what my daughters called me. It was Mama and Mommy. But then the
We have
older
older
kids
kids.
were calling me Jessica. So eventually my younger daughters started to like, oh, Jessica. And I'm like, no. I pushed you out of me. You will call me Mama. Like, they have the option. You don't.
We had to do a family meeting.
We had a family meeting. We talked about this. We're like, we got to figure something out. And they all decided, they're like, well, how about Jemama? We'll call you, because you're not Mommy, because we already have Mommy. We'll call you Jemama, Jessica, and Mama.
And it's stuck, and it's been great ever
They
since.
love it. You'll hear some of them will they'll say Jemama in their interview.
Yeah.
And that's me. But yeah, I mean, we're a blended family. Like, it's our relationship is not just the three of us, and that's why it's so scary for Greg, because it's like, it's not just a breakup from, you know, a friend with benefits type thing. That's not what this is.
No.
It's like,
I mean,
if
I
we
would
break
lose-
up, he loses his daughters.
Yeah, I mean,
And now
Stephanie
his
and Helena
son.
are not biologically mine, but those are my daughters. Those are my kids. I mean,
yeah.
beyond a shadow of a doubt, I would do anything for them. I love them to death.
Which is, we'll have to do a video sometime about some of the things that people say. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely terrible, but it's more of a racial thing, which we can cover in another video if you guys want. In fact, comment, let us know what you think personally. Like, hey, you know, we'd like to see this kind of video or this kind of video. Let us know. But yeah, like,
But as we progress in this, as in our series, we're gonna show you our farm that we're going to be starting up
yeah.
this year. We
Got a little bit of everything.
Yep.
We homestead. I homeschool. We got kids doing everything right now. So
Kids of all ages. We got a whole little kid zoo.
yeah.
but we're gonna be getting we're gonna be planting an orchard this year, hopefully. We're gonna be trying to do a lot more, especially with the property we have now. We're done renovating inside just about, so we're gonna be moving along and trying to get more videos and more content for y'all.
And hopefully our videos will get better and better as we go. This is our first video, so we're kind of learning. Like, don't know what camera to look at, don't know what works well or doesn't work well. You'll notice I'm a mouth breather, so I apologize in advance. If I'm ever recording something, you might hear like Darth Vader. Don't be scared. It's just me. So I'm also going to be doing like a weight loss kind of journey. I'm working on my health right now, so I might have some videos with tips and tricks for recipes of things that I'm eating, or you know, workouts that I'm doing, maybe non-workout related things, working on the farm that I'm doing. So please comment below if there's anything like specific about that kind of stuff. I'm so sorry. We might edit this part out. I have no idea yet if we can figure out how to do that. And now I think my 3-year-old might be screaming because it's nap time, and you know how that goes. At least we don't have dogs barking right now.
Yes, because we've got 2 huge dogs.
So we do. One of them's very, very huge. Great Pyrenees. We could do
thought you
videos
grabbed
about
it.
that too. Were you able to find a pacifier?
No. Well,
we
Matt, we're gonna go find a pacifier. We're going to take care of a little 3-year-old. So if y'all have any more questions, feel free to ask, comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll try to answer as many as we can.
Next, you'll hear from the boys and then the girls.
So what does polyamory mean to you?
Polyamory means, to me, having 3 parents. There's always one person you can go to.
Yeah.
There's 3 adults in the house.
3 adults. If 2 of them are busy, you always have one of them. Like, just ready.
It helps taking care of a baby. So you've always got 3 parents.
And then, of course, with lots of siblings, that also helps a lot.
So what is the biggest strength you see of polyamory?
The biggest strength I see... Well, there's strength in numbers.
Yes.
There's definitely
Yeah.
strength in numbers.
And the
And-
more numbers you have, the more strength you have.
Yeah. And we got a big family. So yeah, we have a good bit of numbers.
Mhm.
It's 9.
Well, on that, what are things you don't like?
Definitely just the overwhelming fact that there's 9 people always around you,
Gets a little noisy.
judging you. At least you think they are.
They give you just that judging look.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Helena, right?
What if you had to pick one thing? What's your favorite part about having a family of 9?
Definitely just the differentness of everyday life. You never know what you're going to expect every day.
Yep. Yes. One day you could have, a perfect day. The other, the house is a mess.
You never know what you're going to get.
Yep.
Well, would you ever consider this type of relationship for yourself?
I personally won't. It's just the way I am.
Yeah, I'm just not that... There's nothing wrong with polyamory. That's just not who I am.
You don't think you can handle 2 people? Just one and done.
Yep. One and done.
Too much work. We drive Daddy crazy.
Yes.
So what is it like every day in this family?
Random. Crazy.
Random. Great. Yeah. Random. Crazy.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean crazy?
Loud.
Well, we mean.
You can say
well, I
drama.
mean.
It's okay.
What I mean by crazy is the fact that
Just the different types of people in the
yeah,
house.
there's different types of people in the house, and always think on different things.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course they're like, depending on the day, fighting on the opinion on whatever it is. You can just never get one exact same day.
Do you ever feel like less of a member in this family?
No?
In fact, we actually feel more because, well, as our family is growing, we're
You become more like a team
yeah,
rather than just a family. Which makes you feel more like a member.
yep,
So you feel more like a member of a team than a member of a regular family?
Yes.
yeah, basically.
This isn't a regular family.
No, yeah, that's so true. This is not a normal family.
Anything else you want to say? Tell anybody? Specific things you like, don't like, anything like that. Any challenges you've had?
Definitely the fact that like some random stranger just started showing up at our house every weekend. And then
Yeah.
after like 2 weeks, I get explained to why these people are coming.
I was just like, oh look, friends for our little sister.
Yeah. And
But
then,
every week.
Well, how did you take it the first time you found out?
Well,
I was very confused.
the very first time I saw Jemima, I thought she was just like a friend, like a brand new friend.
Yeah.
It seems like y'all go through friends a lot. So it's like, okay, it's just an average normal friend.
Aw.
And it was like, okay, we're going out tonight. Can you watch your sister? So it's like, there's a little bit more going on here.
There was a jump from, hey, we're just some friends that came over to, hey guys, this is our girlfriend, and now we're a family. And now you have these responsibilities suddenly
Yep.
Yep.
to take care of these new little girls that you didn't necessarily know very long.
Yep.
Was it hard? Once I know the initial shock factor was probably pretty hard on you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was it hard when Jemima was starting being a parent figure, telling you things to do? Was that hard to take?
Yes, definitely trying to get the mindset
That she was a parent.
was an adult that could tell us what to do. Like, you don't take candy from a stranger.
And to us, she was definitely the stranger.
Yes.
Well, now that, it's been years, how do you feel?
Definitely
Right.
that she is definitely family. And, well, with it being years, it feels like, I forgot how long we've actually been with
3
Jemima.
years.
Yeah.
Almost
It
3
actually,
years.
it feels like more. It feels like more.
It feels like both more and less. It feels like it was yesterday that I met you all, but it felt like it was like 9 years ago that I met you.
Yeah.
Because lots of things
We became
happen.
a family.
Do you ever find yourselves going to Jemima with a question or something like that would be hard to ask, Same with your mommy.
Well, it
Definitely,
always.
she's more social than the two of you. Definitely more city. She knows how to deal with people a lot better.
Yeah.
Definitely knows how to talk a lot better.
I got street cred.
So it's nice having somebody else to be able to go to, something with
Yes.
a little different background or something of that sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's also fun when she has no idea what it is. So we go along in the journey and learn it together.
All right. So I want you to think of one story. Okay. Doesn't matter what it is. One story about Jemima that reminds you, just that's funny, that reminds you of, that makes you happy that she's part of the family.
Probably like one of the first times we've ever met, when Kane, Sephi, and Helena were riding on her back.
Yeah.
Just watching her just crawl around as everyone else is on her, as if she's a horse. We were just all sitting there laughing. Because Jemima is definitely that person that likes to have fun.
Well, would you be opposed to people messaging on the comments, stuff like that, to ask you questions?
No?
Yeah, I'm fine with them asking questions.
Awesome.
I try to respond to as many as I can.
And truthfully,
So, what do you love about our family?
Jemima.
You love Jemima.
Yeah.
What about mommy and daddy?
Yeah. I'm thinking you both like to cook us some food.
Who does the cooking in this house?
Daddy.
Daddy?
Daddy.
You love daddy's food.
He always does
Do
noodles.
y'all like having all your brothers and sisters and having two moms and having a dad? Do you like having this big family?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about having a big family?
Orion.
Orion's your favorite part right now?
Orion.
Orion's your favorite part?
Who's Orion?
The baby. The baby.
How old's the baby?
I do not remember.
Is he a year yet?
2 weeks.
Weeks.
There you go. Oh, I know what you doing, girl.
Hey, sit up, sit up. Sit up.
Silly. I know you silly.
Helena.
What were you doing?
I was working out of the table. You want to build a
All right.
Helena, how old are you?
So crazy.
You're 7? Cadence, is she 7?
No, she's 3. 3.
She's 3.
How old are you, Sephi?
I'm 4.
You're 4. Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, okay, just
How old
checking.
are you, Cadence?
7.
So, so Helena's a copycat.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys are silly. Anything you want to tell people about our family? Do you love your family?
Grandma.
Do you love your sisters?
Yes.
You have lots of grandma and grandpas.
Just a little bit because they always get rough.
Oh, they're getting rough.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're honest.
Yeah.
Helena, do you love your sisters?
Yes.
Sephi?
Do you love your sisters?
Yeah.
What about your brothers? Do you love your brothers?
Yeah.
Do you love our dogs?
Yeah.
Do you love our chickens?
Ducky! Quack,
Our
quack,
ducks
quack,
too.
And duckies.
quack, quack.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Say like and subscribe.
Guess what's gone?
Yeah. Well, say bye to the internet. Say bye.
Bye.
And we'll see y'all later.
We'll see you